What is going on, everyone? I am your host, Zonan Michaels, and as some of you may know and some of you may not know, I used to be a fat kid when I was growing up. When I was young, I was kind of a bigger child, if you will. Um, up until my earlier senior high school years, and I loved food. To this day, I still think that I am pretty, how would you say, intelligent when it comes to the land of food. So I decided that what better way to handle this than by making my own fast food tier list. I know that this is something that many have done. I know I am not the inventor of this, by all means. But I figured if there are so many people to have done this, then why couldn't I throw my name in the hat? Especially as someone who has worked in the industry-ish. I worked at a restaurant, but like same fucking thing. But today we're going to be looking at a lot of fast food. We're going to quickly jump over to the screen. Now, if you look, I have a lot already on the list. I kind of looked through the list a bit already. Everything that is in the never had or haven't had in years, this is all stuff that I have rather never had or I haven't had it in so long, I just don't care, which I almost threw Wawa in there because I only ever had Wawa once, but it's going to stay. So if you want, I am going to disappear real quick. You can pause the screen, take a picture, whatever, because this line is going to disappear. And we're back. Here we go. All right. So here is what we have left. Why? It just put them back after I deleted the row. Give me 2 seconds. All right, when we get to those ones, we're just going to have to skip them because I fucked up. I thought deleting the row would delete them from the list. By the way, I live on the East Coast, so some of these I just haven't had because I've never really been to the West Coast. I've only ever been on the East Coast. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to start off with A&W. Now with A&W, I have had A&W a good couple times, and I'm going to go ahead and say that A&W is easily B tier. I was going to give it A because, one, I have a buddy of mine who absolutely loves A&W, and he gave me chicken strips before when he got to work. And from where he lives to work is probably about 30 to 45 minutes, and he has an A&W nearby, and so, of course, the A&W chicken strips may have not have exactly been the warmest, but they were still fucking good. So I feel comfortable easily giving A&W a B tier. I have nothing to say about that one. That one just kinda, in my opinion, speaks for itself. I have never liked Arby's. I am sorry, but that is just one restaurant. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand. What is your problem? Like, I've never been a fan of Arby's. I just can't get behind it. No matter how hard I try, every time I go back, I just leave disappointed. And another thing that I'm kind of taking into consideration with these is, like, if I'm driving into a new area and I see the restaurant selections, which ones are going to pop out and kind of grab my attentions? Which ones am I going to kind of see and go, eh? And which ones am I going to see and go, like, I could care less? And then, of course, there's the ones in here that I'm just going to have to skip because I've never had them before. Next up, we have Burger King. Fun fact. When I was a kid, I used to just eat their chicken fries, and when I got older, I actually started eating their burgers and stuff. But I had like a Burger King phase where almost all I wanted to eat was Burger King, and I think I burnt myself out from it. And so I don't know. As much as it pains me to say, I'm going to give Burger King a D tier because okay, Burger King, I'm going to be honest with you. It's because you got rid of the A1 burger. I loved that thing. And you took it from me. No, honest to God, I was just obsessed with their A1 burger. Even though it was like expensive for a burger at the time, I still got it because I loved it. Carl's Jr.'s, in my area, I'm pretty sure it's called Hardee's. Again, when I first had Carl's Jr.'s, I was like, man, this is actually really good. Like, this is pretty good. And then after I had it a couple more times, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a C. I'll go ahead and give Carl's Jr. / Hardee's a C. Because if I see a Carl's Jr.'s and, like, I'm in the mood for it, I'm going to stop and get some. Even though I know some people are like, bro, that's freaking disgusting, dude. Every now and again, I enjoy it. Chick-fil-A. With Chick-fil-A, the college that I was going to be going to and visiting friends at and stuff at, they had, like, a little cafeteria type deal. And then they also had, like, another cafeteria type deal that was, like, underneath it that had Chick-fil-A and a couple other restaurants and stuff like that. But the people that I was with wanted to get Chick-fil-A. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it was some of the most overhyped shit I ever had in my life. I'm gonna be honest, it's good. But when I see a Chick-fil-A anymore, like, I legitimately cringe. I can't. Every time I see a Chick-fil-A, I don't care. I literally look at it. If I'm driving through an area and someone is, like, in the passenger seat and they're like, oh, look, a Chick-fil-A, I don't give a shit. That Chick-fil-A. Next, we have Chipotle. Never had it. Going to the back. Del Taco. Okay. A lot of people are probably going to expect me to put Del Taco at, like, a D or an F. After a couple drinks, Del Taco can smack. Del Taco, after you got some liquor in your system, for some reason always turns out to be, like, just what you need. And that's all I'm going to say on that. No story time on that. I'm going to leave that alone. Denny's. Kind of the same situation, but with a different substance. Like you guys know, I was a cancer patient and stuff like that. When I was young and dumb, I may have partaken in the marijuana a couple times. Okay, no big deal. And while I was with some friends, they had the great idea of, oh, well, there's a Denny's right down the road. Why don't we go get some Denny's? And that shit smacked. That's at least a C tier. Denny's is something that I could try and put towards a B, but I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a C tier, and the whole reason I'm giving it a C tier and just saying it's okay, like, C is not, like, bad, it's just kind of one of those, like, it's okay, like, I can live with it, I guess, is because of the inconsistency in between the Denny's. I have had some Denny's where I was like, this is some gourmet shit, man. And then I had some Denny's where I was like, I physically cannot eat this. I cannot bring myself to eat this, or I'm going to vomit all over this table. And so it's kind of a consistency issue. Domino's. There's going to be a lot of people who may disagree with that and be like, oh, there's so many better pizza places. I don't care. For some reason, every time I had Domino's, I've never had a bad experience with them. I went to a completely different area, had Domino's, and it still smacked. That's consistency. That is fantastic. I love that. Dairy Queen. With Dairy Queen, it's kind of hard because I have heard some horror stories about Dairy Queens, and I have heard that their sandwiches and stuff ain't that great, but let me tell you something. If you go there and you get the chicken strips with the fries and the bread, okay, and you don't get sauce, you don't go to Dairy Queen and get actual food and get sauce. You get the white gravy, and when it is nice and warm, you get 2 cups of that. And you dip it all in there. You dip everything in it. The chicken, the fries, the bread, the buttered bread tastes amazing in that white gravy. You've heard it here. Accept it for what it is. Dairy Queen. From my personal experiences, from the experiences that I have personally had with Dairy Queen, my experiences, that shit's A tier. I'll fight anyone in the comments section on it. All right, now that we're moving on, El Pollo Loco, I've never had it. Firehouse Subs, there was one down the road from me when I was like 15, 16. They opened one up that was like right across from a car sales place. I had it one time, and I never went back. I almost want to say, well, I haven't had it in so long, I don't know. But something in my brain is telling me, if you had it once and didn't go back, then it was rather meh of the meh, or you just didn't like it. You know what? I'm going to give Firehouse Subs the benefit of the doubt because I only had it once. And it's going to go down there. Next up, Five Guys Burgers and Fries. Is there even a question to this? Are we even questioning this? Is anyone even questioning what I'm about to do? Because that shit's S tier. Are you kidding me? I have never once had a bad experience out of Five Guys Burgers and Fries. I forgot I got food on the way home, and it's been sitting just here beside me this entire recording. I might munch on that while I make this recording. Like I was saying, I have never had a bad experience with Five Guys. It absolutely smacks. You can put A1 sauce on the burger. Burger King, take fucking notes. Bring back the A1 burger, you pieces of... But anyway, we're going to go ahead and move on. IHOP. I've been to IHOP maybe 3 times, and it's kind of the same situation as Denny's, where, like, if I see one, I'm like, cool. There's a breakfast spot. Maybe I'm just not as big on breakfast as I think I am. Like, I'm one of those people where, like, I love French toast, I love waffles, I love pancakes, but, like, when I see a breakfast restaurant, I'm just kind of like, okay. Like, if some friends want to go there, I'll tag along, so I'll give it a C. Jersey Mike's, I've only had it, like, twice, and just, was it Jersey Mike's or Jimmy John's I didn't like? One of these two has a bad place in my heart, and I think it might be Jimmy John's. You know what? I'm going to pull Jersey Mike's out. And I'm going to put Jimmy John's up there. Because I feel like it's Jimmy John's that I had a really bad experience with. It was years ago, and so I could technically put it in the haven't had this in a long time. But for some reason, when I see those two J's, I get angry. And at first, I thought it was Jersey Mike's, but I was like, well, have I had Jersey Mike's? Then I saw Jimmy John's, and I felt my soul internally catch on fire. So something happened once upon a time to where they have made me physically angry, and something in my brain won't let it go. KFC. Them 11 herbs and spices ain't saving nothing, bud. I am sorry. I had a Nashville hot chicken sandwich once that was pretty good. Besides that, I haven't had much of shit from KFC that I really enjoyed. Gonna be honest. Little Caesars, it's okay. There was a Little Caesars by a job that I worked at, and me and a buddy on lunch break sometimes would hop over and get some Little Caesars, and, like, during a work day, like, the convenience of it being there and just being able to slide over, get a pizza, and come back, I don't know, it was nice. So I'll give it a C. Long John Silver's, again, when I was a kid, I loved Long John Silver's. I'm saying Long John Silver's. I understand. I got big teeth, and so it sounds like I'm saying Long Johns, like a pair of Long Johns and weird fucking like overall things that people used to wear or whatever. But I had nothing but good experiences with Long John Silver's when I was growing up. Plus, they got the little bell thing that you can ring. But I haven't had them in so long. And I've heard a lot of bad stuff about Long John Silver's. I have heard people say some horrendous shit about Long John Silver's, and it kind of caught me off guard because I was like, man, like when I was growing up, I thought it was great. So do I believe the rumor? You know what? No, this is me going off of my personal experiences, and my personal experiences with Long John Silver's, I'll give it an okay. Whenever my parents were like, hey, we're going to Long John Silver's, I was like, oh, you know, that's cool. That's cool. I grew up poor. Like, I'm going to be honest. Some of my family might not like me bringing this up. I grew up poor as shit. And so that was fine dining to me. McDonald's. Golden Arches basic bitch. No, but for real, honestly, like whenever you go to McDonald's, you know what you're getting. You know what to expect. The second that you even pull up, you know what the burger is going to taste like the second you see it and smell it. And some people I know absolutely love McDonald's. I had a friend once who damn near all they ate when it came to fast food is McDonald's. They wouldn't really go anywhere else. They just loved McDonald's, which, like, for some people, that's great. For me, I ain't gonna use the word I hate it, but, like, oh man, I'm just tired of it. Do something to wow me. Like, I don't know. I just feel like your prices keep going up, but your quality keeps going down. So I don't know. You're kind of on the same track as the king. Panda Express. Growing up, there wasn't a Panda Express in the town that I lived in until down the road, more towards like a city area. One opened up, and when it opened up, I went in there, and I only have ever had one thing from Panda Express, and the only thing I have ever had from there is the orange chicken, which, like everybody else, I enjoyed the orange chicken. Plus, it was a new restaurant, and it was actually, like, pretty decent. Like, it was nice and clean inside. You'd go in, you'd get your dish and stuff like that. You'd go sit down. I would absolutely just hammer out that orange chicken. I'm going to go ahead and give Panda Express a B. I think Panda Express is actually pretty decent. Panera Bread. Panera Bread has got the bread bowl. They got them little, like croissant type deals with the, like, chocolate bars stuffed in them. Fire. I used to get a barbecue chicken with cheese and spinach on flatbread that they'd toast, and oh. I almost threw it in B tier, but I'm going to go ahead and give Panera an A tier. People are going to look at this list and think I do crack. Because none of it makes sense. This is just my personal taste. Like, if I was driving through a town and I saw a Domino's, a DQ, a Panera Bread, a Five Guys, a A&W, and a Panda Express, I'd be all right with that. These other ones, C, I could kind of do or do without. D, I would just be like, ugh. And F, I would probably f***ing lose my mind. Next up, the man himself, Papa John's. I haven't had Papa John's in about 5 to 6 years. But when I was trying to eat Papa John's, I was expecting so much from all the commercials and everything, and I just shouldn't have, because that shit was mid. I know there's a lot of people out there, and I know in a lot of different places that, you know, Papa John's might be the best pizza you've ever put in your mouth. You'd probably drool all over it before you suckle it down. The Papa John's that maybe I went to just was not it, man. Was not it. PDQ, fun fact, I know that Charlie, or, you know, Penguin Zero, Big Moist, however you like to call him and his buddies really like PDQ. I've never had it. I believe them. I believe them very much, but I've never had it. Pizza Hut. When I was growing up in the very early 2000s, I was born in 97. You know, we'd go in and there would be like the bar with like the pastas, and you could get pizza, and the pizza was always like 90% cheese, no sauce. And I was like, where's the sauce? And let me tell you something. It wasn't there. It was like dough and cheese, and you would like peel up the cheese and it'd just be like red speckles. And I'm like, where's the sauce? Like, when it comes to pizza for me, I do like cheese. Don't get me wrong. I do like a nice cheese stretch, a nice cheese pull. I do appreciate that. It's very nice. But, like, there's gotta be sauce. Like, I like sauce on my pizza. Like, and there was just none. I would look forward to the breadsticks with the marinara dipping sauce, and I believe Pizza Hut was also the ones who had the cinnamon stick things with the icing that you could dip. I looked forward to that more than the pizza. I wouldn't even eat the pizza. You got good breadsticks, and them cinnamon stick things were freaking delicious, though, so I'll at least give you a D. I was going to throw your ass an F. I'm going to be honest with you. I was about to trash Pizza Hut. No one can out Pizza the Hut. My ass, bro. Popeyes. If I see a Popeyes, I lose my shit. I didn't have Popeyes until I was 18 years old, so like 8 years ago was my first experience with Popeyes. When I see a Popeyes now, I go for it because their chicken sandwiches, the chicken themselves, the mashed potatoes and the gravy completely outdo anything that the old Colonel can handle. I'ma say it live. We'll do it live. Because listen, when I was growing up, all I ever had as far as like fried chicken and going out and getting any sorts of fried chicken was KFC. And it was just so overrated to me from a young age. That's my personal opinion. KFC gonna be like defamation. No, I'm sorry. Just in my personal opinion, Popeyes does it better. Their chicken sandwiches, their chicken strips, their chicken tendies, their chicken nugs. Like, and you dip that shit in the mashed potatoes and gravy. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. I don't freaking care what anybody has to say. Delicious. Never had Quiznos. Sbarro I've had once, and I kind of want to chuck it in D. But because I've only ever had it once, it's fine. Shake Shack. So there's going to be a couple of these that I'm going to mention, like Shake Shack, Waffle House. Or no, it wasn't Shake Shack. That one was Steak and Shake. Or did we stop at a Shake Shack too? I took a long-ass trip with some friends. We drove from Pennsylvania to Florida, to Northport, Florida. It was a 19-hour drive, and we would all rotate. And along that drive, we would stop at various different places to eat on the way down and the way back. So, like, there was a lot going on. I think Shake Shack I may have had, and it was like, okay. So, I'm going to give it a C. Because if it's the burger I'm thinking of, it was okay. Like, I don't know. I was dead tired eating this thing. So at that point, my brain was just like, sustenance. Sheetz. Now, fun fact. The Altoona, Duncansville, Hollidaysburg area of Pennsylvania. Where, like, Sheetz, you could say, like, originated is where I grew up. I grew up in Blair County, PA. With that being said, I'm actually, earlier the bag that I mentioned is, but you want to know something, even though I am consuming some Sheetz food right now, this second, let me tell you something, Sheetz. Let me tell you something. About 6 to 7 years ago, you had popcorn chicken. And with that popcorn chicken, it was part of your hot subs that you could MTO. And I would load them things up and get some Dr. Pepper barbecue sauce on it. And let me tell you something. Whenever you got rid of your popcorn chicken, you cut me deep. You cut me real deep. On top of that, why the hell do your mac and cheese bites anymore keep coming out dry as hell? I would give Sheetz a C if it wasn't for the fact that they got rid of their popcorn chicken, and that was like my lifeblood for like 6 months. If you bring that back, Sheets, I will easily move you to a C. But the fact that you ripped out my heart and stomped on it, you can stay in your D tier while I eat this sandwich. The worst part is this sandwich is actually pretty okay, but I'm still mad about the popcorn chicken, so you, stay in D. Next up, we have Sonic. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people like to throw Sonic in D or F, which I think is kind of unjustified, to be honest. I don't know. Like I said, a lot of people have different experiences with these places. But with Sonic, I've had nothing but like okay experiences. Like, granted, if I see a Sonic, if I'm driving through a city or a town and I see a Sonic, I'm like, oh shit, there's a Sonic. You know, maybe if I'm feeling up for it later, I'll stop at it. In my personal opinion, that is justifiable enough to put Sonic at a C. I don't understand why Sonic gets absolutely so much just diabolical hate. Like, I feel like some people on the internet, like, go to Sonic and they make it out that, like, they're just expecting something terrible. But honestly, the experiences that I've had with Sonic are pretty decent, so I ain't got nothing bad to say there. Okay. Back to the trip to Florida that I was talking about. We stopped at Steak and Shake. And let me tell you something. Wow. I thought it was fantastic. I remember, like, I can remember sitting at, like, this little, like, bar-ish type area. Maybe it was a table? I thought it was, like, a bar type deal. But it was phenomenal. I don't know if I was just really hungry at the time. I've only ever had it once, but, like, if I see a Steak and Shake ever again, I'm gonna stop. I remember that being absolutely immaculate. Subway. What happened? What happened? When I was younger and I was a kid, I would get, as much as people are going to call me basic for this, I was a very picky child growing up, which, like, I don't know how I ended up being so picky when I was growing up with, like, I don't know, the financial situation I grew up in. But I would get the meatball sub on Italian urban cheese, toasted, with, like, I think it was provolone cheese on top. And it wasn't bad. But anymore, when I go, it's like, I swear to God, Subway workers just hate their lives. And there's like, you walk in there and you look at them and they're trying to smile and be like, what else can I get for you? And I have, oh man, if you guys reference Game Grumps, watch Aaron freak out about Subway. That shit is real. I have watched it happen, not to me, but to a buddy I went to Subway with. And I just felt bad the whole time and just kept laughing at him when I realized that this motherfucker just wanted a sandwich. And so, like, he was just struggling. But anymore, I can't even tolerate it. I went to stop at a Subway once because I was like, man, I haven't had Subway in a while. So I stopped at a Subway that was across from like a bookstore or something, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. You know, I'll get a sub and sit down and eat, and it was freaking terrible. All right, next up is Taco Bell. A tier. Taco Bell has turned their shit around so much that it is unbelievable. When I was younger, I could not stand Taco Bell. Anytime my parents were like, we're going to go get Taco Bell, I was like, okay, I guess. Taco Bell's quality has, like, actually improved drastically. And I was so happy when I saw Charlie doing the trying everything from the Taco Bell menu, and he was talking about each individual thing. I don't eat any of their bean stuff, but their beef and their chicken stuff I do eat, plus their nacho fries with the cheese. Sometimes the cheese can be a little plasticky, but it's still pretty decent. Like, I still enjoy it. Taco Bell's A tier. I'm sorry. Like, because here was the thing. Here was what made me break. Because when I got older and I could drive around myself and, like, go out with friends and stuff like that, they were like, let's get Taco Bell, let's get Taco Bell. And all I remembered was just, like, not enjoying it as a child. And I was like, oh my God, Taco Bell is just overhyped BS. And they were like, how about you put some in your mouth and then tell me that? And I couldn't. That shit was delicious. Waffle House. On that same drive to Florida, on the way down and the way back, we stopped at the same Waffle House. And I wish I had the picture of me from back then because it was a group photo of all of us at the Waffle House. And I'm pretty sure it was my turn to be done driving, and I just drove for like 4 to 5 hours. And we pull into this Waffle House, and I was like in the back of the photo, eyes are literally like, if you look how I kind of have this like natural, like almost red kind of around my eyes and stuff like that. It's because my sleep schedule is so all over the place. I've had a lot of health issues growing up, and so, I look f***ed up. But it looked like someone had punched me in both my eyes, just double fisted my face, and I didn't know what to do about it. But you know what? If I see a Waffle House, I ain't mad about it. Wawa. I did say I was from the home area of Sheets. I don't see Rudders on here. Okay, side note, Rudders is fucking A tier. If you've never been to a Rudders or had a Rudders, Rudders is actually pretty good. I enjoy Rudders. Wawa. I don't get excited when I see a Wawa. I'm sorry. So I'm slapping it beside Sheets. It's not one better than the other in my eyes. You're in the same fucking bracket. The only one who's got you beat is Rudders. I've had nothing but good experiences with Rudders. Ooh, that's a lie. I had one bad experience where they messed up the whole order, the whole thing, but they refunded me the money and I went back next week and felt awful and then just bought more food. I like Rudders. Rudders is pretty good. I might, which side is, okay, boop. There's the Rudders logo. If you ever see that, go give it a visit. Wendy's. If I see a Wendy's, I'm stoked. I took a break from Wendy's because whenever I was younger and my family was moving, my parents enjoyed Wendy's and it was in the town that we were moving to. And so while we were moving and stuff like that, they were like, hey, why don't we stop at Wendy's? And so I had Wendy's a decent bit during that transitional period in my life. And so I needed to take a break from it. I was like, man, I'm over the Frosties. I'm over the fries. And I took a couple year break and then went back to Wendy's and it still smacks. It's still phenomenal. They had a bourbon barbecue burger that was absolutely phenomenal. It was like a bourbon bacon barbecue burger or some shit. Oh my god. I'd buy 2 every time I went because I was such a fat guy. Until I found out I was with my partner at the time. And she was like, you can get a double. And I was like, you can get a double? Immediately started doing that. Plus, I enjoy their fries. I like their fries. McDonald's fries, overrated. Burger King's fries, kind of meh. Wendy's is some good fries until they oversalt them. I don't know if you've ever had where they're getting low on the fries, before they whip them up nice and fresh, and you just get that big old scoop of salt, and you're like, then it's a little rough. But if you just scrape it off on the container a little bit, it's still a Wendy's fry. It's fantastic. White Castle, oh my god. I have had actual White Castle. I have tried the White Castle out the freezer. It's so trash. It's just not good. I get it. It's cheap sliders with, cheese and onions or, and beef or chicken or whatever you want. It's just bleh. It's bleh. It's mediocre, and oh man, I remember when I was younger having people telling me that oh, you've never had White Castle? And I'm just like, no. They're like, you gotta try White Castle. And so I tried White Castle at an actual restaurant and out of the freezer section. And let me tell you something. They're both shit. You fight me about it in the comments. I ain't even gonna waste my time answering fucking White Castle lovers. Just go enjoy it over in your weird little corner by yourself because I can't. Wingstop. I don't know. It's one of those things where if I see it, I'm like, cool. but I don't know if I would go out of my way to stop at it. I would probably, I don't know if I'd even stop at a Buffalo Wild Wings if I saw it. I'm going to give you a D Wingstop. Don't take it personally. Because, like, I have had Wingstop, and it has been good. But C is, yeah, I'll give you C. I'll give you C, Wingstop. I'll give you a C. Never had Moe's. Never had Baja Fresh. Blimpie. Bojangles I've heard of, but never had. Boston Market, no. Raising Cane's, no. Church's, no. Checkers, no. Culver's, no. Noodle. Is this all the ones that I haven't had now? Actually, yeah. Wow. That's my list. All right. So after going through these, I'm pretty sure all of these are ones. You know what? Since I did it to Wawa, Firehouse, you're going in D. I'm sorry. Not really, though, because it's just my opinion. You could tell me to go, F myself, and I can't really do anything about it. But here's my list. Let me see if there's anything I want to change around. You know what? Out of spite for you Sonicators, it's going to be... Sheets. You are so close to being here, or even if you brought back the chicken subs, the popcorn chicken, if you fixed whatever is going on with your mac and cheese bites, and you stopped getting rid of some of the shit that your customers actually enjoy, because what I've noticed is like you will constantly sell out of different sheets in the area of like one thing, which lets you know the customers are buying it. And then after like a year or two of it, you're like, oh yeah, we're getting rid of it now. And it's like, why? It's like, that's stupid. If it's making good progress, oh, you never know. Some of these guys might get sick of it, or we might have to up prices. I don't know. How you deal with corporate shit just bothers me. So if you would just, like, for lack of a better term, unfuck yourself, I would gladly move you to C or B, because I'm literally enjoying one of your sandwiches right now, and I have some fries in the bag. They're probably ice cold because I got 2 into this. There's a couple things I don't see on here that I don't know if they're just sort of like East Coast-ish stuff. Like, well, I guess some of them don't really count as fast food. Some of the stuff that I'm thinking of, I guess, don't really count as fast food. And that's what this is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a fast food tier list. But I feel like they'd be on the same level as like an IHOP. But at the same time, that probably only have me put them in C tier. So with that being said, this is my list. And if you have any problems with it, I don't know, fight me in the comments about it. Fucking do something about it, bruh. God. But I don't know. I feel like there's some other stuff that I could add to this list, but I'm okay with it as is. I felt like there was some more things that I could have talked about some of them. Yeah. These two, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Final changes. I don't care. I do not care. What's got me fired up right now and what makes me want to go on an absolute tangent right now is Chick-fil-A. The lines are completely unnecessary. It's overhyped, but the Chick-fil-A sauce. Eat it every day for like weeks because you're visiting some friends and they just want to go have Chick-fil-A, and so you eat Chick-fil-A. I was ready to like take a cow in there and slaughter it right in front of them. just for shits and giggles. That's really extreme. I mean, even for me to say, but like, I wouldn't actually do that. But like, it's such overhyped bullshit. Their waffle fries are good. You know what? You know what? Fine. 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 You get the fucking your little waffle fries are good. I would still eat your waffle fries. You can stay in D. Besides that, everything else can just fuck right off. I have been your host, Zonan Michaels, and this is my tier list. I actually really like doing tier lists. I do. So whether you like the video or not, I'm probably still gonna put out more of these. But thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Zonan Michaels, and I will see you in the next one. That was weird. Why the hell did I do that? Take care. Bye.